Warning, please use these tips at your own risk. Using these tips may cause some intended side effects. These side effects include headshotting noobs, collecting salt from the other team, collecting salt from your own team, ranking up in Rainbow Six Siege, and feeling good about yourself for doing well in an online first-person shooter. Alright, full disclosure and kind of a plug, before I tell you what I'm about to tell you, I was ass at Siege. Like, I'd been PC gaming for a while and I was still pretty ass. That wasn't until I actually focused on improving my aim and controlling recoil. But let me not waste any more time, let me tell you what I did. Okay, first things first, if you're on console, this part is less important for you. On PC, if you have a gaming mouse, most gaming mice have a program that you can actually switch the DPI around. If not, Windows and Mac let you play with mouse sensitivity and you want to crank that down. For example, I was playing at like 1600 DPI, which is insane to me now. Right now I'm at 600. I was actually a firm believer that high sensitivity or high DPI was needed to do well in first-person shooters. Now that might be true for a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, but Siege is a slower game with more tense gunfights. Also, turn off mouse acceleration. This is really important. Just type in Google like how to turn off mouse acceleration and turn that shit off. It'll put your hand movement and your cursor movement at a 1-to-1 ratio. This is going to help you build muscle memory in Siege, which is super important if you want to be a headshot god. An example of my in-game settings, my mouse sensitivity X and Y are at 70. And I have a Logitech gaming mouse with my DPI set to 600. The next thing you're going to do is hop into a terrorist hunt. It doesn't really matter who you pick as long as the weapon you choose is semi-automatic. The first thing you're going to notice is that turning is fucking slow. Like, frustratingly slow, but I promise it gets better. As a side note, it also helps to have more room to move your mouse around, so like a bigger mouse mat or a bigger mouse area is important. Okay, now that we're here, look at your mouse mat or mouse space, whatever. Now move your mouse the furthest left it can possibly go to the furthest right it can possibly go. When you do this movement, your character should do about a 180-degree turn. If your player model doesn't do that yet, that is what you're targeting. So keep changing your sensitivity or DPI until you get to that point. Anyways, what you're going to do is you're only going for headshots. Like, you're going to be the god of headshots. They're going to call you like Headshot McGee or some shit. Do this until you die or you beat the terrorist hunt, and then do it again. This is actually a really good way to warm up your aim in general. Here's the caveat though, every time you restart terrorist hunt, you turn down your sensitivity or DPI incrementally. So every time I restarted, I turned down my DPI by 50. Remember, you're aiming for that 180-degree turn, but it's easier to go from like 1600 to 1200 to 800, etc, than from 1600 to 600. Practice this a bunch, and I promise you your aim's gonna improve. Now you're probably wondering like, Dills, how is this gonna improve my aim? Well, you just took the first step into easily managing your recoil. If you're like me and shit gets intense in the game, you get kinda jittery with your hand. A low DPI or low sensitivity makes it so you don't move your cursor so much. This makes you more accurate in every firing mode, whether it's semi-automatic or full automatic. Alright, so now you're well on your way improving your aim, and you've taken the first step into better managing your recoil. The next step is to see how recoil actually works in this game. So go to your most used gun on your most used character and let's look at the recoil chart. I'm going to use Kaplan the MG guy. He is definitely my most played character and tons of fun.
Believe me, believe me.
Reading these charts is actually pretty simple, but they can vary wildly gun to gun. So it's pretty important you know how your favorite gun works. The dot at the bottom is your first shot. The small green dots are the possible places your second shot will land. The yellow dots are the possible third shots, and so on and so forth. You will also notice that the general trend of this recoil pattern is that it curves to the right. So keep a close eye on the line made of bullet holes. You're going to see it curve slightly to the right. The way to correct for that is to pull down and slightly to the left as you fire your gun. And that's, in a nutshell, how you manage recoil. Most of the work is really done by changing your DPI and sensitivity. There are, however, a few tips to help you. Although relatively obvious, they are really useful. The first tip is that you should not worry about lifting your mouse up. If lifting your mouse up to get a better position immediately makes you want to increase the DPI, just don't do it. Trust me, I know, it was hard getting used to, but it's totally worth it. Tip 2 is aim where you want to shoot. Sounds stupid, I know, but I see so many people peek around a corner aiming too high or too low. Aiming about chest height is usually a safe bet, so you can aim up or down to get that headshot. Tip number 3 is all about attachments. Listen, if you're bad with recoil, why wouldn't you take the attachment that makes recoil easier to handle? Taking angled grip when you're bad at recoil is the weirdest thing I've seen people do. Anyways, I'm confident that these tips are going to take your guys' game to the next level. Nonetheless, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments. I actually think it would be hilarious to hear what kind of salt you guys get in this game.
You crazy mother.
Hold on, here, one sec.
Cover fire.
I got you. Go, crawl in.
Sick.
Crawl!
Oh fuck, I'm running.